As we continue off with the conversations this morning, now becoming a parent is a joyful but challenging experience. New parents often face sleepless nights, emotional stress, and major lifestyle changes. Now, from adjusting to new responsibilities to balancing work and family, the early stages of parenting can be overwhelming. And to explore the common struggles new parents face and how they can find support and balance during this life-changing transition, we're now joined in studio by psychological counselor Mechelle Tjimuku. Mechelle, very good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Thank you so much for making time to join us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right. First things first, what would you say are some of the most common psychological and emotional challenges that parents face during their first year?
The first year of parenthood, especially for new parents, it has to be the most emotionally demanding year because it's characterized by nappy changes, sleep deprivation, fatigue. It's this compound effect that parents go through.
Yeah.
From the maternal perspective, for the mothers, they often go through what is called postpartum depression, and it falls under the major depressive episode, and that experiences symptoms such as diminished interest, loss of mood, as well as weight changes, all those effects. And I've had parents, particularly fathers, also share that they've experienced some similar postpartum symptoms. However, it's not often expressed, and I'm of the opinion it's typically triggered by things like stress or feeling equipped as a father to support the partner as well as the child efficiently. So being able to manage all those differences that come between the mum and the dad is vital for them to bounce off of each other to provide the best care for their child.
Amazing. So it's not only women that go through
No.
these challenges, men also go through them.
Men go through it as well.
Okay, amazing. So in what ways can sleep deprivation impact the mental health and just also the cognitive functioning of new parents? You have some babies, you know, who sleep throughout the day, but at night they keep you awake.
The colleagues.
I know. Talk to us about that.
No problem. Sleep deprivation, first of all, or I would just like to emphasize, is way more than just fatigue and exhaustion. It affects cognitive performance, mental stability, and most importantly, the emotional regulation. Parents often find themselves in this turmoil of having to constantly care and having to manage the household as well as themselves. So it leads to things like being easily irritable, emotionally numb, as well as forgetful in some of the tasks. And I think what parents do feel is a sense of guilt when they feel, okay, I'm going to rest for 10, 15 minutes and then care for the baby, or when the baby cries, then it's that instant need to go and help the child, and that adds on to the stresses that they already go through. So sleep deprivation in terms of parenthood should be looked at from a holistic perspective and not just that the parents are tired, so that we know different streams to help them or provide the best care.
Amazing. Let's talk about the role that family actually brings to the table, the social support. You know, people say it takes a village, and when they say it takes a village, they're not just saying it takes a village because it does take a village, but it does take a village, you know, to raise a child. Talk to us about that.
Fully. There I fully agree. You need the support. And before I answer that, just to emphasize again, I think it's important that parents know there's nothing wrong with asking for help or wanting to receive the support. I think they should be open to receiving the support. And support comes from no one better than close family and friends, because they know you best. And support can be a simple phone call just to check in that they're okay. It can be helping do meal plans, preparing the house, little things like that. I think the trouble comes in, especially with traditional norms that most African households experience, is that you always need to be put together and poised, and you have to take charge in those things. And it actually leads to what I've seen in my practice is the stoic mannerisms or the mindset that you just have to manage with things that come about. So I encourage new parents to seek the help, whether it's through family, friends. There's online networks, communities, there's social support groups all over where they can lean on each other. And I think social support groups are the best, in my opinion, because you relate to people that are currently experiencing what you're going through.
Yeah.
And that creates a sense of safety and security, both for the mother and the father.
Yeah. You know, I keep saying when it comes to parenthood, there is no blueprint, you know. This is just an experience, you know, that we go through life. I'll raise my babies the same way my mom raised me, and you will raise your babies, you know, the same way you were raised. You know, but why would you say it's very important for one to seek professional help? You know, because not everybody, you know, has that wealth, you know, of having parents.
Yeah.
You know, would you say professional help also perhaps comes through?
Definitely. Before, during, and after the pregnancy is what I always recommend to parents that come to our practice. I think the problem that comes into seeking the professional help, and as I mentioned earlier, is that having to look poised and just manage mindset. I think therapy is amazing, creating that safe support group, and it also helps parents navigate through tensions that build in their relationship, because it's very easy for mom and dad to get caught up in having to constantly care for their child that they lose themselves as well as their connection. So to fix that bond, and it also helps the parents to speak to a therapist, psychologist, etc., to navigate on healthy attachment styles for their child. And I would encourage that parents seek the help before, to help prepare for the pregnancy, during the pregnancy, because with postpartum, both on the maternal and paternal side, it's not only after the pregnancy, it can be experienced during the pregnancy as well. So the more the merrier. Seek the help, talk to professionals. You won't be able to care for your child if you don't care for yourself first.
True,
That's where it has to start.
Yeah. So for all the first-time mommies and daddies who are watching the show right now, what are some of your words of encouragement or just words of advice for them? You know, some of them feel like, you know what, I'm not doing enough. You know, probably not a good parent right now. What are some of your words of advice to them this morning?
That is completely normal feelings, first of all. The nervousness, self-doubt, guilt, all those emotions are completely normal and should be embraced. I encourage the new parents to, number one, acknowledge anything that they may feel in terms of those feelings. Seek the help. Whether it's family, friends, professional, be open to talking about what you think and feel. And there's nothing wrong in having those moments where you don't feel the best, because I think nowadays, especially through social media, you go into TikTok, oh, I've got this for my child, oh, I don't have this for my child. You start thinking, oh, am I doing my best? Or it's going back to work feeling that, is the person going to care for my child the best way I can? So, as we said earlier, it takes a village. You need to have a support system. You need to be open to yourself experiencing these new changes. Parenthood completely transforms people's identity, but it shouldn't erase who they are or what they were before that. It should just be a new stepping stone in their lives, taking on these challenges together as a couple.
There's nothing wrong with asking for help.
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
All right. Well, Mechelle, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Psychological counselor Mechelle Tjimuku joining us this morning, just basically talking to us about some of the challenges that parents can experience, first-time parents can experience. It takes a village to raise a child. There is no problem that is, of course, with asking for help. So do go out there, get professional help, join for mommies and daddies groups, and and it's okay to basically, you know, feel the pressure and also the, you know, depression. More conversations coming your way. To stay with us.